In our latest project, the studio created a bunch of videos for each of the professors receiving tenure this year. While many of the shots look like they're on location, a majority were shot against a green screen with the backgrounds replaced. Likewise, the very shot that I'm in right now isn't actually happening. The background was recorded after the fact, and we keyed out the footage of me in front of a green screen. Today we're going to cover a very basic version of this effect and many of the awesome uses that it has. Before we can talk about editing and keying our footage, we got to talk about making a realistic looking background. In this case, we're going to take our camera in the same lens settings that we used to record our initial footage and take a picture or video of our background but blurred out. In our case, we just recorded us working in the studio to make it look like I was actually there. Now with our footage and our background, we can take it all into Adobe Premiere Pro and begin our keying process. The first thing we're going to do is drag our footage into our sequence. Here we have a student testimonial against a green screen. As you can see, we've got a nice green backdrop and a well-lit actor in the front. We're then going to go to our Effects tab. This is where the magic's going to start. Before we start keying, we need to mask around the actor where there's only just green and none of the rest of the colors from the room. While our keying program can get rid of the green, it can't get rid of all the other colors, meaning that this mask will do the job for us. We'll go into our Opacity tab and click on the Mask tool. We'll then mask around our actor, giving her some headroom so that she can move her arms and head around without getting out of frame. There you go. The other thing you'll notice is there's a little black bar at the bottom, and this is because the scale of our footage doesn't actually match up to the scale of our composition. This can easily be fixed by going into the Motion tab and scaling up. In this case, we'll need to scale to about 103 to make sure everything's to the edge. Once this is done, we can now begin our keying process. We'll come over to the Effects tab and type in Ultra key. In this case, we only need to hit Ultra, and it's right there. We'll drag this effect onto our footage and begin the process. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the color dropper and select the green from the background. As you can see, this doesn't get rid of all the green, as there's still a lot there and a lot of video noise. So we're going to go to our settings, select Default, and change it to Aggressive. This allows the program to capture much more green. While it degrades our image, it gives us a better key. At this point, as you can see, the background is completely black. We can now insert our backdrop. The footage we have here is an image taken from the university that's been blurred to match similarly to what the lens would be. This allows for a more realistic and believable background. We're going to drag this into our scene. We're then going to take the right side of the strip and extend it out to the length of our footage. However, as you can see, the background's on the top. We need to switch our actor's footage to be above it. So we'll simply drag the footage up to the top video layer. Now you can see our actor is in front of the backdrop. We're then going to go back to the image. While the image looks solid and the key looks solid, the sizing is not quite right. So we'll go back to the effect controls, specifically clicking on the image. We'll then go under Motion and go to Scale. We need to scale down the image so the objects in the room are a respective size to our actor. In this case, this is a scale of 36. Now you can see it looks as if the actor is actually in the room. And there, in just a couple of minutes, you have a finished key all within Premiere Pro, and you can get back to editing your project. With a few tweaks and minor adjustments, we can get a pretty convincing result that's relatively quick to complete. As you can see, this technique allows us to put actors in places that they otherwise couldn't be. Whether it's due to scheduling conflicts or not having the budget to take a trip to Jamaica, green screening is a great tool for filmmakers to have at their disposal.